Let's explore building a lance in Battletech. And in terms of building a lance, I don't mean from a tactica point of view, the nuts and bolts of the battle value and tech manuals. I mean from a narrative. I mean from this idea, certainly with Battletech, but this is true of all miniature wargaming systems. Let's get the most out of our miniature collection. You're going to start out, Game of Armored Combat. You're buying some of the lance packs. Maybe you've got some of the classic metal miniatures. There's a lot of third-party support. Your collection is going to grow and grow and grow, and you're going to have different opportunities to play different things. But there is never enough battle value in Battletech. So when I'm building a lance, yes, there's all these tactical considerations, but I'm also exploring it from the perspective of player personality and rotation. Player personality is, as you learn the rules of the game and the flow and the mechanics and your collection grows, there's going to be certain things and certain tactics and certain ways that you enjoy playing for whatever reason. This is like how you like to play Battletech. And that's going to reflect in the machines that you select. I call them the auto includes. There's certain mechs that I just love because they fit my player personality. Some are really gems. They're amazing. Others are just absolutely, from a tactical perspective, awful. That fits my player personality. But also then there's this opportunity of rotation where I want to experiment with different machines. I want to make something interesting happen on the table. I want to create those moments where it's like, this is a tactical opportunity. Can I take it? We want to mix both of those. And of course, layering over some sort of plan or some sort of decent tactics. So within that scope, within that framework, the first thing, of course, we start with is battle value. Now, it could be tonnage. It could be C-bills. I would recommend as a Battletech player, if you're jumping into the community, you don't have to calculate battle value from scratch. Understand, though, the role it plays and how it adjusts, because I won't say every Battletech player or every Battletech community, that's kind of the common language. You want to play a game of Battletech? How much battle value are we going to do? 6K Inner Spheres, you're like, that's got some bite. That's got some potency. 6K Clans, you're like, okay, I got 3 light mechs. I mean, not really, but you look at the clan mechs, they're expensive. I feel like clans, you want to go in 8 to 10K. Or maybe that's just because I'm used to having lots and lots of mechs on the table. But we arrive at battle value. That's going to be your pool of potential resources. Second to that, this is just generally something that I do in Battletech. What are the expectations? We're all at different points in Battletech, and I want you to have a fun and exciting game. I want to create that experience with us together. There have been times where I've been playing a war game, and I made certain tactical choices in terms of lists and tactics, and I got blown off the table or I got punished for it. Was I salty? Not really, because I decided to build that list or try and make that certain thing happen on the table. That's different than if you go up against an army that you have no hard counter for and you had no choice. An example in Battletech would be if I bring all air support units, I'm like, here's 6 mech busters and a bunch of laser boats, and they're loaded up in bombs, and you've got nothing to stop it. You don't even have like some partisan tanks. You didn't even bring that rifleman. You didn't listen to Fritz. You got nothing. That's not going to be a fun game. That is not going to be a fun game, and you're going to feel powerless. Like in the narrative, could that happen? Yes. Would that happen? Possibly. But that's not for a fun game. So we sit down and we say, okay, we're playing with mechs. Obviously, it's Battletech. With this battle value, 3K, 6K, 8K, do we include infantry and vehicles? Yes, no. Do we include air support? Yes, no. Artillery? Yes, no. Mission-based fortification? Yes, no. So this way we know what's included or not, and then you can make your own decisions. If you're like, well, Fritz usually doesn't bring air units, so I'm not going to sink battle value into countering that. I know he brings loads of infantry and tanks, so I'll go into that. You can at least make choices. I don't want to have someone starting out or midway Battletech, they don't have certain punch in their collection, and I'm able to take advantage of that. So we get on board what we're going to play. At that point now, and usually that's like, hey, we're playing Battletech next week. Units to include and battle value. Where are we going? What are we doing? Then I'll sit down with my miniatures. And I like to like physically sit down, set them up on the gaming table, and pull out, what do I feel like playing? What haven't I played in a while? What should I be playing? Examples of that will be, I'll pull out kind of my core mechs, the mechs that I really enjoy. The Marauder, the Rifleman, the Warhammer, longbows, archers, locusts. If we're looking at tanks, infantry, Karnovs. These are kind of the auto includes. Then there's my second group, which are machines that are solid. They're good. I play them, but they kind of come in waves and rotation. The Valkyrie is a great machine. Then I've got the third pool, which are mechs and machines that there's just never enough battle value. I like them. They're kind of neat. There's technically nothing wrong with them. An example would be like the Scorpion or the Goliath. And then experimental tech. I kind of classify experimental tech as not literally experimental tech, but I should say situational would be better. Fire starters, awesome mech, very, very focused. Vulcan, very, very focused. Where's Irby in this list? Fritz, Irby is auto-included. Irby's like in pretty much every game. The Duke of Death is in every single game. So this third group are mechs that we really need a situation. So now visually that are there, I play around. I swap things out. I make up 2 or 3 lists. I'll usually make a list that can go a little higher, maybe 1,000 battle value higher or 1,000 battle value lower, because sometimes you get to the game and someone's like, I couldn't decide. I just couldn't decide if it was going to be the T-Bolt or the Warhammer and this and that. And like, I just don't know. And it's like, play both. Let's just bump it up by 1,000. I've got my list. So I want to have those advantages. Or if I get to the gaming club and someone has less, I can scale it down. I pull from the different categories, and I try to include a mix of Tactica and machines that I regularly play, Tactica and machines that, that'll be like 70 or 80% of the battle value. Then I pull in machines that I haven't played for a while that are still solid, like the Valkyrie. And then, not always, but maybe every other time, I'll include some of this focus tech. I'll take a Vulcan. I'll take a fire starter. I'll see what I can do with it. It's almost like a game within a game. I will only take one of those because, not that I want to lose it, mech, because certainly you lose initiative, you lose battle value. But if I mess up or it doesn't work out or it's ineffective based on the mission, based on the map, if I don't know that ahead of time, it's not sinking my entire game. This kind of narrative tech, experimental tech, I can have fun with it, try to pull it off, try to have that magic moment. But if it doesn't work out for whatever reason, it's not going to sink my list. So then we get everything locked up, loaded into the case with the dice, with the books, and we are ready to go. So I want to challenge you in Battletech as your miniature collection grows. Certainly play what you want to play. It's your game. It's your narrative. It's your player personality. But also, as your collection grows, you want to use those miniatures. Be open to some of the different ways and asking the questions, building within a lance of whatever battle value. How can I mix and match? How can I keep that core, but also how can I pull in that other stuff, not only to use the miniatures, but to try out some different stuff, to explore in Battletech, to make that moment where like time pauses on the gaming table and you and your opponent are like, what the heck just happened? Those magic Battletech moments. How can you use your miniature collection in different ways to kind of promote that and capture that feeling?